Not with warnings, not with sanctioned papers, but with steel and naval guns. From this moment on, any vessel attempting to enter or leave Iranian ports, regardless of the flag it flies, will face direct interception by the most powerful navy in the world. Iran's 6-week Hormuz business, run on naval mines and toll booths, is completely smashed to pieces on this very day. Trump defined the whole situation with just one sentence on Truth Social. This is world-class extortion. Leaders, especially in America, will never be extorted. Prior to this, the nearly 20-hour nuclear talks in Pakistan had completely collapsed. Vance flew back to Washington, leaving behind one final statement. Iran is unwilling to abandon its nuclear ambitions. In the first trading session after the blockade order was issued, Brent crude skyrocketed 7% to $101.86 a barrel, and U.S. crude surged nearly 8% to $104.20. Before the war, it was $67. In 6 weeks, it has surged by 55%. This is not an escalation. This is the end game. To understand why this American strike is so surgically precise, you first need to see exactly what Iran has been doing over these past 6 weeks. Iran never truly closed Hormuz. It merely set up a toll booth. During the war, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps granted passage to ships willing to pay tolls as high as $2 million per vessel, while allowing its own oil tankers to set sail as usual. Thanks to this mechanism, Iran exported an average of 1.85 million barrels of oil per day throughout March, 100,000 barrels more than the 3 months prior to the war. In other words, it shut off the world's oil pipe, yet kept its own money flowing in without missing a single cent. The U.S. blockade order directly targets this exact loophole. The CENTCOM statement is crystal clear. The blockade targets all vessels entering or leaving Iranian ports. It does not target transit vessels heading to non-Iranian ports. Slicing off Iran's oil export revenue in one stroke, while preserving a corridor for the normal trade of other nations. This is a surgical strike, not carpet bombing. Meanwhile, the hundreds of naval mines Iran itself deployed can no longer be located, even by Iran. U.S. officials confirmed to the New York Times, Iran neither knows where the mines are, nor does it have the capability to clear them on its own. The ocean currents of the Persian Gulf have washed them away from their original coordinates, drifting into the unknown. Iran created this monster with its own hands, and now it has no idea where the monster is. Far more than just 2 destroyers in Hormuz. The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group is fully deployed in the Persian Gulf, with F-35s and F-A-18s establishing an all-weather air superiority umbrella. 7 guided missile destroyers are on standby in the Arabian Sea, 2 are patrolling the Red Sea, and the amphibious assault ship USS Tripoli, carrying 2,000 Marines, is in position. A 3rd carrier strike group is on its way. Beneath the surface, Knifefish autonomous unmanned underwater vehicles have already begun operating silently within the minefields. The motherships stay outside the safe boundaries, while the Knifefish dive alone into the dark, pinpointing mine coordinates one by one. Iran's countercards are also on the table. Over 800 Boghammer and Zulfikar-class speedboats, welded with heavy machine guns and rocket launchers, are preparing to execute a naval guerrilla warfare saturation attack. More than 300 suicide drones, including Shahed 136 variants, can blanket the sky at any moment, and Nur and Gadir supersonic anti-ship missile batteries are hidden inside coastal mountain caves, with ranges covering the entirety of Hormuz. It's a math problem. Can the U.S. destroy Iran's launch capabilities before Iran depletes American ammunition? Trump has given his answer. The deployment of A-10 Warthog attack aircraft has doubled to about 30,000, specifically tasked with dealing with Iran's speedboat swarms. B-52 and B-1 bombers have taken off from RAF Fairford in the UK on standby at all times to level Iran's underground missile bunkers. The strategy boils down to one sentence. Instead of trying to catch the arrow in midair, strike down the archer directly. Now, let's calculate the bill. Goldman Sachs estimates, if Hormuz remains closed for another month, the average annual price of Brent crude will exceed $100 and could rise to $120 in the third quarter. Wood Mackenzie, an average price of $100 will crush global economic growth from 2.5% to 1.7%. $200 means a global recession, with GDP shrinking by 0.5%. Roughly 2,000 ships are trapped within the Persian Gulf, and the International Maritime Organization confirmed that about 20,000 crew members have been adrift in these turbulent waters for over a month, with the blockade order making their evacuation prospects even more uncertain. And while the eyes of the world are fixed on Hormuz, there is one country thousands of kilometers away, calmly counting its money: Russia. Oil prices breaking the $100 mark render the West's price cap sanctions on Russian oil effectively worthless, as Eurasian markets pivot back to Russia amidst energy panic. The Arctic shipping route, into which Russia has invested for years, instantly becomes the world's most sought-after alternative logistics corridor now that Hormuz has turned into a deadly maze. It bears zero risk, yet reaps all the dividends. Reviewing this entire chessboard, two pieces of logic are blindingly clear. Rule 1. Weapons you cannot control will ultimately become the knife that stabs you. Iran used naval mines to create uncertainty, used that uncertainty to shut down the world's oil transit, and then used that closed transit to charge tolls to passers-by. This system was brilliant and ruthless, but its fatal flaw: the mines drifted away. Iran itself does not know where they are. It created a monster it couldn't tame, and now this monster is blocking its own oil tankers just the same. The exact second the blockade order landed, Iran's daily oil export revenue of 2 to 3 million barrels went to zero. Rule 2. Treating uncontrollable risks as your core bargaining chip is strategic suicide. Tehran's miscalculation lies here. It thought Hormuz was a card it could play infinitely. But with every play, the world accelerates its search for alternatives by another day. For every extra day of blockade, the value of this card depreciates by a fraction. During those 20 hours at the negotiating table, what Iran was defending was not a strategic advantage, but a rapidly expiring bargaining chip. This is the equation Tactical Trace firmly believes in. See clearly who is bearing the risk and who is reaping the dividends, and you will find the true winner of this game. A few hundred rusty naval mines combined with a toll booth system ultimately handed the control of Hormuz straight into Washington's hands. If you want to see through more of the war games hidden behind cold data, please subscribe to Tactical Trace, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell. We don't blindly believe in strategic declarations. We only look at the final bill of physical reality. Everyone, see you on the next battlefield.